meeting, our regional Best Start meeting. Again, I would like to direct your attention to our chat box where you can sign in so we can record your attendance. Also, if you are in need of language, our globe is at the bottom. Just check onto that and choose which language you would like to hear this particular meeting in. So we encourage you to do that. We are in the month of November. Already, we're at the end of the year. Oh my gosh, one more month. So November is our attitude of gratitude. I want you to think about just the things right now in your life that you are grateful for. Just make a note of the things you are grateful for, no matter how big or how small. This is our agenda for this afternoon or this morning. I want to welcome you. We're going to be reviewing our strategies for the North Star. We're going to have special acknowledgement of our Indigenous People Month, and we have a special guest speaker today, Mark Villasenor, and we're going to talk about some things that are to come to our Best Start AV. Yeah, we have some things coming up. Today, we want to welcome our first-time attendees. If this is your first time attending one of our AV Best Starts, go ahead and holla at me through an emoji. Send me a thumbs up, a hand wave, a smile. We just want to acknowledge that you are here. And we want to welcome you and say, hey, welcome to the family of our Best Start. This is a good place to be. This is a great team. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us. Just wave at me, wave at me. Okay, all right. Next, I'm going to turn this over to my director, Ms. Sylvia Scott, who's going to share with you about our North Star vision. Sylvia.
Thank you, Darrell. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. As you can see in this infographic, this is what First 5 LA has envisioned in terms of what Best Start is and how we're going to be making systems change. This infographic actually has to be updated because as of November 10th, First 5 LA and their board of directors or supervisors, excuse me, updated the North Star. And the new North Star, I'm going to read it to you. Basically, it has a little bit of a change, but the new North Star is that every child in LA County will reach their full developmental potential throughout the critical years from 0 to 5. So they've made an adjustment on that, on the North Star. But really, as we move forward into other meetings, we're going to dive deep into this infographic to really just get the feeling of what it is that Best Start will be doing in the next year. We're also going to be looking at how we can, our community here in the Antelope Valley will be instrumental in making some changes and impacting systems to better our community and to better the services and supports that we have for children and families in the Antelope Valley. We will also be looking at values and looking at, right now, for First 5 LA, their values really are centered around collaboration and integrity, learning, and a big focus is definitely on diversity, equity, and inclusion. So as we move forward in the next couple of months, and we'll follow up with this later in the meeting as well, we will be looking at all these areas and how we have, what's our part in our community to play in all these areas. So we'll be following this up again. And if there's any questions, please do not hesitate to either email us or raise your hand or even put it in the chat. But we will be, like I said, diving deep for the January meeting. We'll be diving deep into this, what our path is and how we're going to be really instrumental in making impacts and system changes. And here we have our two areas are two areas that we focus in Best Start Antelope Valley. One is resource mobilization with an emphasis in early childhood education. And the other one is child abuse awareness and prevention. And these are what's known as our community change agenda. And also looking at around January, February, we're going to be looking at revisiting these and as a community have a say in whether we want to stay with these community change agendas, or do we want to update them or change them a little bit, really looking at what the needs of the community are. So that's coming up for 2023 for sure.
Thank you, Sylvia. Thank you
Sure.
so much. As I said before, we are acknowledging November is Native American Heritage Month. And I'm going to stop sharing because I'm going to turn this over to my co-worker, Steffi, who has a video for us. Steffi?
Let me share my screen. Oh, here it is. Oh. I think my computer froze. Oh, there it goes.
Yata, it's a great day to be Native. Today marks the beginning of Native American Heritage Month. While Thanksgiving...
Hold on, I believe it's glitching. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen really quick. Hopefully that helps. Hold on.
Okay, no worries. If not, I know Tracy has it, but if not, let's try it again.
Yeah, I think this should work. But...
Today marks the beginning of Native American Heritage Month. While Thanksgiving tends to be the highlight of November and the holiday most closely associated with Native history, Thanksgiving is not the end-all be-all of Native American history. While we love turkey and football, we want to go beyond the festivities of the holiday, because this month is an opportunity for the indigenous people to share their perspectives at a national level. It serves as a platform to acknowledge and celebrate the contributions of Native Americans and their achievements. But before we get into all that, let's take a dive into the origins of Native American Heritage Month. This national recognition of our heritage actually began as a day that was advocated by several individuals and groups as far back as 1914 to 1915. For instance, Red Fox James from the Blackfoot Confederacy traveled from state to state across the country on horseback to gain support for a day designated for indigenous people. Dr. Arthur C. Parker from the Seneca Nation actually convinced the Boy Scouts to adopt a day dedicated to the first Americans. On behalf of the annual Congress of the American Indian Association, Reverend Sherman Coolidge from the Arapaho Tribe issued a proclamation declaring it an American Indian Day in May. These examples go to show that this month actually stemmed from the efforts of Native Americans over a century ago.
Decades after the early 20th century, Congress passed a Senate Joint Resolution in 1986, sponsored by Senator Alan Cranston. It authorized and requested President Ronald Reagan to proclaim an American Indian Week, which he did. Aside from some generalizations about the contributions of Native Americans, the proclamation includes an important statement regarding U.S. tribal relations. We look to the future with the expectation of even stronger tribal governments and lessened federal control over tribal government affairs. We look to a future of development of economic independence and self-sufficiency, and an enhanced government-to-government relationship that will allow greater Indian control of Indian resources. Up until now, we've discussed an annual day and a week acknowledging Native American heritage. But where did the month come from? Well, in 1990, a huge win was secured thanks to Representative Tatavium Tribe, who sponsored a House Joint Resolution authorizing and requesting President George Bush Sr. to proclaim a National American Indian Heritage Month. The joint resolution sponsored by Tatavium Tribe has some great language saying, whereas the people and the government of the United States should be reminded that certain concepts such as freedom of speech, the separation of powers in government, and the balance of power within government, all of which were found in political systems of various American Indian nations, influenced the formulation of the government of the United States of America. And there's this quote, which is relevant to Wade and I on a personal level, that gives reasoning for this month, which encourages activities which provide positive benefits of enhanced self-esteem, pride, and self-awareness to young American Indians.
Ultimately, Native American Heritage Month means whatever we make it out to mean. It can become a time to discuss concrete policy changes for self-determination or funding aimed to revitalize tribal languages. We can develop a deeper understanding of the history of different tribes. While that's important, us natives should also spend time at home with friends and families, including our clan members, asking questions, listening to stories, and at the same time helping with the needs of the community. This is our month. This is our heritage. So let's make it worthwhile.
Awesome. Awesome. In fact, I think I'm going to give that one some hand claps. Thank you so much, Steffi, for sharing that with us. Now, let me share my screen one more time with you. Our special guest this morning is Mark Villasenor. And I'm going to have my director, Sylvia, come on, and she's going to introduce Mark as our speaker for today. Sylvia?
Thank you, Darrell. Good morning again, everyone. Mark Villasenor is an active and determined member of his community, both culturally and politically. Mark Villasenor has been an engaged leader and citizen of the Fernandino Tatavium Band of Mission Indians, a sovereign tribe of LA County, for his adult life. He is the descendant of lineages and villages of Taupu, Tapo Canyon, Sutukanga, the village of Encino, and Chawayanga, a village in Santa Clarita Valley. As the current tribal vice president for his tribe, Mark collaborates with federal, state, and local municipalities, as well as other sovereign nations, in an effort to better his tribe. Engaging in civic activities and volunteerism, Mark Villasenor has been active in city-sponsored initiatives and is currently a commissioner for the LA City County Native American Indian Commission as a mayoral appointee. In addition to advocating for his tribal community, Villasenor supports other city residents. He is often called upon by his alma mater, Cal State Northridge, to support student-initiated programs and provide guest lectures or songs. Additionally, Mark Villasenor supports programs by other community-based organizations, providing services to the broader local community. To better accomplish financial, political, or cultural objectives for his tribal community, he graduated with a BS in Business Administration with a focus in global supply chain management from Cal State Northridge. And again, Mark, thank you so much for being here with us, and welcome to the Best Start Community Regional Meeting.
Okay.
Hi, hello. Thank you for having me. It's been a great privilege to be able to be invited out and speak to you all today. And before I start my presentation here, I wanted to start off in our tradition. In my people's tradition, we sing a lot of song and welcome individuals into events. And I'm going to sing a song now. This is a welcoming song. It's actually, if anybody knows Pacoima, Pacoima was actually a Fernandino word that over the years had changed. The actual village name was Pacoinga, like kind of like Tahunga, but Pacoinga. So Paco means enter and Kema means come. And this song basically says, come enter, come with me, come be here with us. And this is a gourd rattle we use as a singing implement. Paco que ma'a, Paco que ma'a, Paco que ma'a, menai que ma'a, menai que ma'a, Paco que ma'a, Paco que ma'a, Paco que ma'a, menai que ma'a, menai que ma'a, Paco Pato Kima, Pato Kima, Pato Kima, Menai Kima, Menai Kima, Pato Kima, Pato Kima, Pato Kima, Menai Kima, Menai Kima, Pato Kima, Pato Kima, Pato Kima, Menai Kima, Menai Kima, Vehicle. And that was a welcoming song. Like I said, it's traditionally something that we do when we are asked to come in and welcome people or come in and present. And I just wanted to share a little bit of that with you today. And then I actually have, give me 1 second, a little presentation I'm gonna present to you all. Okay. So, like I said, I'm the vice president of the Fernandino Tatavium Band of Mission Indians, which Tatavium actually translates to people facing the sun or people sunning themselves. This is just a little overview. I'm not going to go, too far in depth with this. And we'll go to the pre-mission phase. So during the mission period, our people were enslaved into Mission San Fernando. It's just one of those glaring facts of history that we have to contend with. And it was just during that time where our people had to survive. Most of the loss that we occurred was through disease, and which is, a sad fact of the era. So as you can see here, all these places in red are actual villages located roughly in their areas. So like it was said earlier in my bio, I come from the villages of Tapu, which is Tapo Canyon. If anyone's been to Simi Valley, that's where one of the villages of my family comes from. Tochonanga, which is actually Magic Mountain, if everyone's ever been there, and then Chaguyanga, which is further north in Santa Clarita Valley, and then my family also comes from the village of Sitconga, which is actually the village of Encino. My family actually had the Mexican land grant during that time for 4,400 acres of Encino, right there, what is now Los Encinos State Park there on Ventura. And of all these lineages, these are all the villages that lineages in the tribe today descend from. So you can see all the way in the upper right of the image, Topipabit, which is a very far outside, the far almost end of LA County. Tameobit, that's another village, and you can see the here. So of all these villages, this is our tribal boundary overlaying on top of the LA city / county map. So of all the villages there in this map that I'm showing you that were taken in Mission San Fernando, which is about 26 of them, 3 villages survived, 3 lineages survived. So out of the 26 possible family lines and villages from that time, 3 survived to this day. This is, you can see where our land goes all the way from Humaliwo, which people ended up calling Malibu. They kind of sort of took the name from it. Topanga is another original Tatavium word, like Tapo Canyon or Tapu. Piru, Lake Piru is Pirukonga, but they changed it to just Piru. They dropped the end. And Tahunga. Tahunga was actually a sacred place for us, which is there's actually a little activity later. I'll say it. It's like I was saying, each village had one lineage, and each lineage was kind of its own entity back in the day. It wasn't until the mission era that we all were one big like tribal unit. So, as my people throughout history have gone through. We've actually kind of created a you know, our governance stemming from the result of our history with the exterior community throughout the time that you know, contact was made. So, like I had said, the village of Tahunga, you can see here, this is a little language exercise. NGA means the place name. So like Tahunga, uh, Bit or Vit means I am from said place. Viat means the country of, and AM makes it plural for like an individual. So if you were to say I am from Tahunga, you would call yourself Tuhubit, because the suffix there is bit/vit. And then if you were to say the people of Tahunga, there'd be Tuhu Vitam, bit or bitam. And if you were saying that, you know, if it was the people of, you know, the country of Tuhu, would be Tuhuviat. And this individual here was actually one of the informants to a anthropologist named J.P. Harrington back in the early 19 teens. Most of our culture at that time and knowledge was held by a few people, and many of those people were dying out. And he was one of the informants that was basically, you know, speaking to this individual. And so we have a lot of practices that, you know, his family had never, you know, throughout time never passed down. He was unable to pass down to his family. So this information from this anthropologist has been great, because we have still retained that family's aspect of culture within the tribe. So like I said before, you know, Cahuenga is one of the traditional words. Tahunga, Tapo Canyon, which is Taponga, Humaliwo, Malibu, Pirua, named all that. And then like even Porter Ranch, that actually was a village called Sisavenga, which meant actually the place of the sycamores. Whereas Encino is Encino, which is Situganga, Suka actually means oak tree. So it's the place of the oaks. And so, you know, and Encino means oak trees, right? So, you know, they basically named it the same thing as the Indian name for the place, which happened a lot in many different situations in other places as well. So why are my people called Fernandino Tatavium? During the Spanish occupation here, they called us people Fernandino, named after the San Fernando mission that they were building. This term was only ever given to native peoples, never given to, you know, Spanish or the individuals from Mexico, or, you know, American settlers or white settlers. It was never given to anybody but Indians from San Fernando. This is kind of the name that we decided to, you know, acknowledge the history of what we were called by exterior peoples. And then Tatavium, we were actually called that by a Katanomuk individual. That's what they had called us, which is the people facing the sun, or the people sunning themselves. And this individual here on the left is actually the one that was kind of passed on that knowledge to that same anthropologist. So our tribe adopted the name Tatavium, which was the name for, you know, that was given to us, but, you know, we called ourselves by villages. We didn't really call ourselves by an entire group. So it's Tatavium is like Angelino, right? But in the sense that if it was going by traditional, you would say you're a person. I'm from San Fernando, or I'm from Pacoima. I'm a person from Porter Ranch. I'm a person from, you know, Santa Clarita. But you're still all, you know, Angelinos or people of Los Angeles County. So Tatavium is kind of that overarching name that other people had called us, and we decided to adopt it. So back during mission secularization, we had petitioned for land because up until that point we didn't have any land. And once Spain was gone and the missions were being decommissioned, we had petitioned for land. So 41 of our tribal captains, which you can see that list on the right, petitioned for land from the Mexican government for our people. And some of these land grants that were actually given were Rancho El Encino, which was the one I told you at Los Encinos State Park, Rancho Tahunga, which is Tahunga, Cahuenga, which is at now Universal City, the Universal Studios, Sequango, which is actually in around the San Fernando area. This is Mission Hills, essentially. Patzconga, which is San Fernando, and then Rancho Escorpion, which is actually where Bell Canyon is today in the San Fernando Valley. And all of these properties were dispossessed of us by no legal means. There is no actual legal change of title from our possession to somebody else's. This kind of was a case back in San Fernando on Hubbard and 4th Street. This man, Rogerio Rocha, was a captain. He owned 20 acres of land with a natural spring on it. And even today, San Fernando has its own water table, partly from the spring that Rogerio owned. But at that time, Benjamin K. Porter and Charles McClay, who were big developers at the time, they wanted his land because it had water on it. So they devised a plan to basically say that, oh, he never had it. He was just living there, and they basically kicked him off. And they took it to court, and McClay's cousin was the judge. And back then, if your cousin's a judge, the Indians weren't winning. So he was dispossessed, put out on his in a rainy season. His wife dies from pneumonia because they were kicked out. And during that time, people went to protest. It was even in the papers at the time saying how mean this was. And in yellow, that's actually my great grandfather who was protesting his eviction, who ended up getting arrested and then fined $500 and then 50 months rent for every month during that time. So, $500 in 1878 was a substantial amount of money. And then, like I said, we're the descendants of 26 villages. We have 3 lineages in the tribe. And at this moment in time, we have around 900 citizens within the tribe. And we refer to our villages now by lineages, by names. So there's an Ortega lineage, a Garcia lineage, and an Ortiz lineage, named after some of the principal captains that came from these villages. So the Ortega lineage, which comes from Encino, the Garcia lineage, which actually comes from Tahunga, and then the Ortiz lineage, which comes from Cahuenga, which is Universal Studios area or Studio City. And there is no federally recognized tribe within Los Angeles County. My tribe has put in a petition for federal recognition with the United States government, saying that for a long time we've been ignored, we've been dismissed, and it's not right what happened to our people, and you need to acknowledge the fact that we are people here, that we exist today, and that we will be existing as we go forward as a sovereign indigenous nation. And like I said, it's been a 150-year pursuit. It started since contact, and it really hasn't stopped. Hakupai. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much, Mark. That was just phenomenal. I know that I saw in the chat, many people were commenting on how fascinating this history is and acknowledging. Thank you again for sharing that with us. Both Tracy and I are history buffs, so yeah, we were both just all into what you were saying and just understanding the significance of the lands and the ownership and how people are connected to this. It was really awesome. Thank you so much. If you joined in late, I want to encourage you to check the chat box. You got to sign in today. You don't want to miss today. Is one of those days you want to make sure you're signed in. Give me 1 second. Yeah, go ahead, Tracy.
Yeah, I think Pilar, I'm not sure if Pilar raised her hand. I think she had a,
Go ahead,
or
Pilar.
maybe a comment for Mark.
I did. Thanks for thanks for the presentation. Excuse me. I know, Mark, that you were just in the other meeting at 9 and you rushed to be in this meeting. I saw that presentation as well, a little bit different. So I wanted to find out, you shared a little bit of it, the history. I know there's like a lot more, but are there, I was just thinking, because like in the other presentations, there were some specific asks or some talks about partnership opportunities or how different organizations or individuals could start working with some of the tribes. I'm wondering if there's like in Antelope Valley, there's a, you know, what are there some of those opportunities or for us to learn a little bit more? I wonder if you could share something like that.
Unfortunately, right now, just due to capacity, it's hard for us to reach out to Antelope Valley, which has always been one of the biggest issues for us because our community is pretty much split between two areas, San Fernando Valley and Santa Clarita Valley, or Antelope Valley. You know, we have a lot of people just because of economics, right? When the valley started to get insane with prices, a lot of our people in our family, you know, moved back to some of the ancestral village areas, you know, in Palmdale and Lancaster. And, you know, at this point, you know, our tribe has a mobile food pantry program, which is designed to help those who suffering through food insecurity within the tribe, to allow them to not worry about maybe, you know, 2 weeks worth of food or 3 weeks worth of food. We do that in Antelope Valley. We're actually expanding to go into Antelope Valley. It's just always a struggle between what we want to do and what we can do, you know, and our food program is one of the ways we do it through a nonprofit that we is under our umbrella. We do supportive services, which is, you know, like rent assistance and things like that for individuals who are chronically unhoused. So there's a lot that we do, and I would urge to go to our website, which has a lot of information and of different all the different entities underneath the tribe's umbrella, which we can help support the community. And these are not just for our community as well, these are also for the greater community, because we see ourselves as good neighbors, right? These are our traditional homelands, and now everyone that lives here now calls us home. So as much change that we want to affect within our community, we understand the greater community is also hurting, and that we can affect that in our own way to the best that we can, even if it is to the scope that we can do. So every little bit helps, every partnership helps push that needle a little further, because, you know, one kid going hungry is one too many. And that's kind of how we envisioned it for our tribe and to the greater community. It's just capacity is always the issue.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that, Mark. Any other comments or questions in the chat, or anything that you would like to ask Mark at this time? I want to give space to that. Again, if you haven't had a chance to sign in, go ahead and do that.
I did want to say Darrell, sorry.
Go
I
ahead.
did want to say again, thank you, Mark, for being here. The information is so enlightening, and you know, we as the community here in the Antelope Valley, we are wanting to be very, you know, collaborative and inclusive, and so we will be reaching out and see what kind of work we can do with from our community, our Best Start community, and with you know, other family members that you have that are, you know, out here, and how we can either connect them to other resources or how we can connect them to Best Start and work together with them. So we will be reaching out and doing that. And again, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, thank you for inviting me. It's a pleasure.
Yes, thank you. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen because we are going to be moving on with our meeting this morning. Give me 1 second. We are super excited to be sharing with you today some things that are happening in Best Start, things to come in 2023. You've been with us, for those who have been continually following us and being a part of our Best Start community, thank you. But we are moving towards some other in-depth things in our Best Start AV. I'm going to turn this over to you, Sylvia, so we can go through this together, because you touched on pieces of this at the beginning. But for those of you who are just joining us, I want you to know where your Best Start team is moving to, and as a community, what we are going to be pulling from you, and as we engage in the work of our community. So Sylvia?
Thank you, Darrell. Yes, 2023 is going to be an exciting year for Best Start. We're looking at taking Best Start to higher levels and really working on solidifying that the voices of the community are what drives our work, that your voice is what directs at least directs us into where we're going and where we're taking Best Start. As I said earlier, we're looking at starting in January, we're looking at really trying to improve our community change agenda. It's something that we should be updating more often than we have. And so we're going to be taking a look at like what our Best Start values are and what our Best Start mission is, what our Best Start community change agenda. But we can't update that and we can't make any changes without you and your voice. The ultimate goal for Best Start is that you as a community basically runs us out of a job in terms of you taking the reins of Best Start and the work that we're going to be doing in the community. And so we really, really invite everybody to stick with us through 2023, because our meetings are going to shift a little bit in terms of what we're going to be doing. But we're really going to be solidifying our framework. We're really going to be taking a look at what are the areas that we want to focus on, what are the community projects we want to work on. And like I said, it's really, really, it's vital to have your voice so that we can create what the new vision of Best Start will be. And basically, you know, a lot of what we're doing, some of the initial community change agenda, some of the framework was set up, I would say about 4 or 5 years ago. And so a lot has happened. We have a lot of new members. We have a lot of new things that are happening in the community, new needs, just something as, you know, basic as the pandemic and how that affected our community. So it is really vital that we come back and take a look at all, you know, our framework and our structure. And so starting in, like I said, in January, our meetings really going to are focusing on solidifying our structure. And so it'll be a little less on having presenters come and talk to us about resources, but that's not going to go away. We're still going to make opportunities and offer a platform for the resources to be shared with the community. but they're just going to be maybe in a different forum and not necessarily in our meetings. So we will get a lot of information to you guys. Again, we encourage you all to join us, to be part of this. This is for the community, by the community, in the community. So that's kind of, things to come, and we're really excited, and we're really hoping that you'll jump on board with us to start improving, and again, taking Best Start to higher levels and to new and exciting projects.
Thank you so much, Sylvia. Yeah, we're looking forward to this. We have some great plans set ahead. Right now, for our Best Start community, you need to know, you've asked for it, it is back. The Trauma-Informed Master Class is coming back, and we're going to be starting in January for this class. I believe a sign-up sheet is available. It is open for enrollment, and this is just such a phenomenal master class with Shenandoah Sheffalo that we want to continue providing it because we keep getting requests for it. So it's coming back.
If I could just make one comment to the masterclass. We are also offering, and we will be sending out all of our information today, so you don't need to worry about writing anything down. And the Eventbrite link is right there at the bottom in orange. But we're also going to be offering a very, very exciting Train the Trainer. And it's going to be June 2023 tentatively. This is also assuming that we don't have a rise in the COVID rates, but it's tentatively scheduled for June 2023. And if you want to attend the Train the Trainer to actually, delve into it deeper, you do need to have attended all 10 of the sessions. So I know some of you might have attended a couple or all of the sessions in the previous, because the first cohort is going on right now. So this is going to be the second cohort. So if you're wanting to do Train the Trainer or you're missing a couple, that's where you want to be. So definitely look to that, because that's an awesome thing that we're offering. And I imagine if we're getting it anywhere else, it might be, a couple $100s. So we really want to offer that to the residents of the Antelope Valley to have another tool in your toolbox. So that's just something to keep in mind.
And Tracy, to add to this, many of you who work with a lot of our partner agencies, being a Train the Trainer, this is then how you can build capacity, not only in the community, but also in your places of work. But this is the key to, it's another tool that we're going to have in our community to be able to make our environment and our network and community a healthier community.
Okay. Next, our Policy Leadership Academy. Tracy, I'm going to ask you to come back, and I know there's some things you wanted to share, so I'm going to stop sharing.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Darrell. This is super exciting. This is our third Policy Leadership Academy cohort. I love this. I'm the policy analyst for Children's Bureau over the Best Start program. So I really enjoy this part of my job. Didn't think anybody else would, but we have been so pleasantly surprised. People really want to take this dive into policy. And so we had our first cohort, our second cohort just ended in October, and now we're going into our third. And so I'm going to ask Darrell to stop sharing, and I'm going to ask my colleague Stephanie to share our recap video from the PLA that just happened in October, to give you a sense of what we do and if this is something that you want to join. So Stephanie, if you could share, and then this is for the PLA. This is the recap video of the one that just happened in October.
But guess what? You have the power to make changes, because the power that we need to do this is where? It's right here in our person, okay? You don't have to have a college degree, but you can serve on your school board, on your city council, And yes, and then you can run for the state assembly or the state senate. Okay? Who's got the power?
We got the power.
What kind of power?
People's power. Power.
The thing that I enjoyed the most was probably just being able to network and talk and learn from people that are like icons in public advocacy. Like Dolores Huerta was the first person that we were introduced to, and being able to just like even though it was through Zoom, like just knowing that I was in the same call as her is so inspirational, because like you read about people like her all the time, but when you have the opportunity to talk to her and learn from her, you realize that she's a human being just like the rest of us, and we can all make change together if we learn how to organize and learn how to talk to decision makers and analyze policy and things like that. So it was just really motivating, and it made me more excited to learn about public policy.
So we'll just do our best. But I'm excited to talk with you this morning about developing collaboration. There are some challenges, and we'll talk about that as well. But there is a reason that we create collaboratives. And as you can see from this slide, there are at least 5 really important benefits that we gain individually and collectively when we create collaboratives.
I think decision making is a product of staying level-headed. I think it's a product of looking at not only the consequences, but also the unintended consequences of things, that when you decide to do something, that you're doing it for the right reasons, but you're also looking at what are the sort of second and third order consequences of it. Equality is what our Constitution requires. Equality is what our Constitution guarantees. Equality doesn't mean, though, equal things or equal outcomes. That is equity.
So how do I make political change? I think the first thing you have to ask yourself is, what are you looking to do? There are a lot of folks that are very focused on local policy. I think that there is no replacement or anything that compares to lived experience. And I think folks who have a lived experience that is the source of why they want to run for office or get involved in policy, we need you.
Well, thank you so much for providing just a tremendous opportunity for those in the community to take part in this Policy Leadership Academy. It really helps to provide a network for those of us that are the attendees, to just be able to connect and know who our fellow peers are, so that when we see each other at community events, we actually have an acknowledgement and just an understanding and a relationship that has actually been built as a result.
The topic today, communicating with not difficult, but challenging people. Who are those folks and how do we do that? Ooh, it can be something. I'm here to tell you, you know it and I know it. Excellent work, everyone. These challenging folks, ooh, challenging. Let's see who they are. We can start off angry, or they can start off angry, and then through, really smart facilitation, they can switch over and become more positive and more interesting into the conversation. So thank you for playing this out with us, Melvin.
Who is it that decides what is ethical, what is not ethical? The bottom line is that it's all of us, every single one of us. If you just join an organization, for instance, and you realize that they do not have an internal code of conduct or set of ethical standards that align with the mission and goals of the organization, I would take a lot of time to develop that, to communicate that to all of your stakeholders.
I'm happy that I participated in this, because that basically to me was stereotypic thinking, and I learned a lot. I learned that all politicians are not stuffy, and fake, and that it showed me different avenues and ways to, number one, start a conversation amongst people that I interact with, whether it's at work or in personal settings, regarding politics and strong issues that affect the world. Because that's really what I'm concerned about. I love people, and I'm always concerned about how can I try to impact the world in a positive way. So I can see now, after going through this Policy Leadership Academy, how actually your voice does have an impact. You just have to be strategic in how you get it heard.
Today, we're going to be talking about social justice, and I'm going to be more focused in terms of what community organizing and how values and narratives fit into that. When I meet folks who are like, how do we get folks to understand the issue, is to talk to somebody that is directly impacted, and not as a curiosity, but a little bit deeper than that, right? It's not just surface level. It's like going deeper in the iceberg. What's your story? And let them talk.
And those guiding principles are safety, trustworthiness and transparency, peer support and mutual self-help, collaboration, empowerment, voice and choice, and of course, a lens of cultural, historical, and gender issues. What we've often done is looked at behavior, and it's interesting because I think it's a really culturally American phenomenon of our need to punish us out of a certain behavior.
Equality and equity. Folks like to use this term interchangeably. They are not interchangeable. These are two different terms. Equality meaning the same, and quality, measure, or esteem, you're getting the same thing at the same time. Equity meaning fairness, justice. We're distinguishing from equality and saying, we're meeting you where your starting place is. There is no such thing as a single issue struggle because we do not live single issue lives. So how are we moving these issues forward with some intersectional thought processes?
The timing was great. I'm in a new leadership position, so the ability to open my mind to different points of view, and I will say, every single week, I'm sure I've brought back one piece to my job, to my life. That was my goal, and I accomplished it. I got something, one piece of practical thing to apply every single week.
We are a team. We are not enemies of each other, but we have been elected, or we have come together as a group, as a board, whatever your position is for the community, or for people that have elected you, or people that have chosen you to speak for them. And you see people willing to put their energy, their time, their time, talent, and treasure. That's what I call it. If people are willing to put their time, talent, and treasure to help solve an issue with any elected official, many times those are the people that start to gain the favor of the officials.
So I know that was a little long, but I think that really does a great job of covering what happens for the Policy Leadership Academy. And again, that was the one that just ended. So if you watched that video and you fell asleep, maybe this isn't for you. But if you watched that video and you were invigorated like I am, please sign up, because we've got a lot of exciting speakers. We're changing up a couple of them, and I'm super excited. So the ask is, it's starting February 7th, so there's some time there. We're going to give everybody some time to come back from the holidays, but we're going to start on February 7th. It's every Tuesday from 9 to 10:30. So it's an hour and a half, and it goes for 12 weeks. There are 10 speakers. Then we go dark the week before it ends, and then the final is a recap and a survey. So it's a 12-week course. And again, I think you'll find it really, really exciting and a real in-depth look at policy and the Antelope Valley. So if you're interested, my colleague Stephanie just put the sign in there. We hope you'll join us, and thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Tracy. I think that the PLA is so appropriate to where we're moving our Best Start AV team, and knowing this kind of information so that we can make a definite impact here in the Antelope Valley within our communities. I'm going to share my screen one more time as we continue on. Save the date, December the 13th. We are having our Antelope Valley stakeholders convening. It will be via Zoom, so please stay tuned for that. When you receive the email, go ahead and sign up. And you do want to be a part of our stakeholders convening, because we do have some information that is imperative for our Antelope Valley concerning data, state of the child. So you do want to be a part of that. Also, our Antelope Valley Regional Meeting Showcase. In December, we're going to have a little fun and showcase all the wonderful things that have taken place here in the Antelope Valley with your Best Start team, what we've been doing, where we are going, and what we are looking forward to. So that will be coming up as well. Now, I'm going to turn this over to my colleagues, Stephanie and Sylvia. We have a special treat from your Best Start AV team.
Thank you, Darrell. We have the opportunity to say thank you. Thank you for everybody who continues to join us, everybody who is invested in making a change in our community. And just as a little way of saying thank you for all that you do and all that you are in our community, we've got a couple of really cool prizes that we wanted to give away at our meeting. We are going to have 2 full Thanksgiving dinners. One is a ham dinner and 2 turkey dinners and 2 ham dinners. And they come with all the fixings. And whoever wins these, we will make arrangements to get that to you on the 22nd of November. We also have the opportunity to win a $100 Walmart gift card and 2 $50 Walmart gift cards. So what we'll do is, Stephanie's doing the wheel. If somebody wins, the first thing we're going to give out is the first of the turkey dinners. And when somebody wins, we will take their name off just to give everybody else an opportunity to continue winning. So let's go for the first turkey dinner. Ready? Courtney. Courtney, we will make arrangements, make sure, or we'll make sure to reach out to you on how we can get this prize to you. Congratulations, Courtney. And now, yes. Now we will do a ham dinner. Selena. That gets the first of the ham dinners. And again, we will coordinate to do the pickup. And now we are gonna, you're welcome. Now we're gonna do a $50 Walmart gift card.
Good luck, you guys.
Congratulations, Lanisha. We will get that gift card to you.
Very nice.
Thank you. Thank you. You're welcome.
East side in the house, yay.
Hey, Tracy. And now let's do another turkey dinner.
Good luck, you guys. Oh, it's gonna be another spin.
Spin again. And these dinners, like I said, come with all the fixings and really, really yummy. Cecilia. Congratulations, Cecilia.
Thank you.
And then let's do our last of our ham dinners.
Yay.
Congratulations, Liliana.
Thank you.
All right, we've got two prizes left. We've got a $100 Walmart gift card and we've got a $50 Walmart gift card. Let's do the $50, Steph.
Go ahead. Good luck, you guys.
Woo, woo, woo.
Amy.
Yay.
Congratulations, Amy. Okay, the time we're all waiting for, that $100 gift card.
Good luck.
Good luck, let's spin. Congratulations, Kimberly.
Awesome. Awesome. Congratulations to all our winners today. This is going to be a great day. Look what you got today. See, you never know what's going to happen with Best Start. Listen, before we close out, I believe Olga is online and she had a quick announcement and question. So Olga, I'm going to yield to you. Are you still here with us?
Yeah.
There you are. Hey, Olga. Go ahead.
You're muted, Olga.
You're on mute, so you got to come off
I
mute.
cannot be, I'm sorry. After 2.5 years of virtual meetings, I'm still not sure sometimes how to press that button. What an amazing meeting today. And it was great to hear the speakers. It was amazing to view the videos. So thank you so much for this important resource sharing. So I'm Olga Vigdorchik. I'm a health program analyst with Los Angeles County Department of Public Health, and my role is education sector liaison. So I have a question for the agencies presented here today. The agencies present here as well. Our department has received an inquiry from a community partner asking about any agencies in the Antelope Valley region that are utilizing the two-gen or two-generation approach to address poverty alleviation within the early childcare setting. And a little bit more about the two-gen strategy. Basically, it's this approach is like a more intensive intentional strategy, engaging simultaneously working with children as well as with their families. And the components of working with the families include things like access to resume building, ESL classes, health screenings, any parent-directed education programs, skills workshops and more. So if any of your agencies are simultaneously providing the early childcare services as well as working with the parents or caregivers, would you kindly email me your agency information? Again, this is a very preliminary request. I don't have any more information for you at this time, but we're just trying to get the lay of the land to find out, who may be using this innovative approach that is trying to address health equity and alleviate poverty for our Antelope Valley families. Thank you so much. Again, my email is in a chat, and I will just add here the reason for my email. Great.
Thank you so much, Olga. And just recognize that we're going to be sending this video out. We are recording, so it will be sent to you. It will also be posted. So you'll have Olga's information if you don't get it all now. You'll have access to this video. I believe we someone else, Sandy, on the iPhone that had a question. Oh, please take survey. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Stephanie, for reminding me. We are posting the link for a survey. It's in our chat link. if you would please take a few minutes to complete that survey. We are trying to document and track, are we going in the direction that our community needs us to go into? We want to capture your voice, so please fill out that survey. Sandy, is Sandy on the iPhone? Did you have an announcement or question? I don't see her, so I wonder if she's still here. If not, let me share this.
Sorry, no, I don't have a question. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Did you have something you wanted to say? Oh, okay. All right, Sandy, no worries. Listen, I want to encourage you to follow us. We're on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and then you can scan the code and get to our link tree, find out all about what Best Start is doing. We are posted now. So what you see here today will be on our YouTube channel. We are posting, and you'll get information flyers, event flyers, things that are happening here in the Antelope Valley are on our Facebook page. You'll see all of that. So when you go to these sites, first of all, when you go to our YouTube channel, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and like us. Then become a part of our Facebook family. Everything that you see today will be posted. Again, you'll even get flyers that we normally post, you know, upcoming events and flyers. We didn't do that this time because we're going to be sending them to you, and they are on our Facebook site. So we've come to the conclusion of our meeting. You know what I want to tell you. Thank you for joining us. Yeah. Oh, go ahead, Sylvia.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I just did want to say one more little announcement for some fun that we're going to be having in December that we didn't go over, but I just wanted to let, and everybody that has been attending our meetings the last couple of months will get information about this, but we are going to be hosting a drive-through at the beginning of December, and it is going to be for the first 100 people that sign up to attend the drive-through. Families will be getting a gingerbread kit to do with your families, your children. And what we're gonna do is we're doing it at the beginning of December so that when we have our December meeting, everybody who got one of these gingerbread houses will be able to showcase their work and their artistry. So we will be sending out information to everybody who's signed in so that you can sign up for the drive-through. And I think it's something fun. And again, we want to thank you all for all your participation and your involvement with Best Start. And we just want to continue having opportunities where you can also have some fun with your families and within the community. So thank you.
And I also wanted to add, for those of you who might be out and about this weekend, we are going to be, Best Start will be at the Art of Resilience Festival. It's going to be at the stadium. I forget what they call it now, but it's going to be at the stadium. So we'll be there from 10 to 4. So come on by, say hi, pick up some swag and stuff, and yeah, get out of the house and come see Best Start out in the
Come see us. I know it's going to be a little chilly. Put on your hat, your gloves, and your scarf. Come say hi.
Uh-oh, did she freeze?
Yes, be nice. Listen, Wednesday, I'm glad you were with our Best Start team. I want you to have a great Thursday. Enjoy the rest of your week, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Oh, and don't forget our DPH AV Wellness Community, fresh produce distribution. Okay, we got you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day.